I'd like to call the Central Valley Board of Education September 13th work session to order. Please rise for the pledge of the flag. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pauline, please do roll call.
Del Castro.
Here.
Mr. Bloom.
Here.
Mrs. Rotundo.
Here.
Mr. King. Moed.
Here.
Mr. O'Neill.
Here.
Mr. Ross.
Here.
Mr. Zaritz.
Here.
Mr. Ambrose.
Okay, at this time, we'll entertain public comments on agenda items only.
Public comment.
Really?
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right, at this point in time, Al, do you mind or Tricia announcing executive session, please?
Yes, we had an
The board-
executive session.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead. Prior to this meeting, we had an executive session regarding contractual and personnel matters.
Thank you. Before we dive into the routine agenda items, we have some representatives here from ABC and Fry, our busing company. Asked them to come tonight and kind of provide an update as to where the district is, specifically with regards to the recruiting of drivers for the Central Valley School District. So Todd, if you want to introduce your folks, DJ Fry from Fry Transportation, and Todd, if you want to go ahead and introduce.
Sure, this is Kristen Anthony. She is overseeing operations, especially in Central Valley. I'm the Vice President for ABC Transit.
Appreciate it. So if you don't mind going up to the podium.
Okay, so we wanted to present tonight to you regarding our start to the school year. We know that there has been a little bit of a different start to the year than the traditional start due to some events that occurred over the summertime. So we wanted to kind of give you a snapshot of what we have gone through over the summer in getting here to be partners with Fry and ABC Transit in the transportation. The way we have it set up is that ABC Transit does all in-district transportation. Fry Transportation does all out-of-district transportation, which in essence, we do most all of the public school, big buses in district. Fry does the special needs in the private schools outside of the district. It's a unique partnership, and I've known DJ for a few years. Aaron's known him for longer than that. Normally, we're competitors in most of the situations, but here we're partners, and it's worked well so far in our start. Our objectives is to assist transportation due to the loss of the transportation contractor in summer, provide the school district with transportation services to the best of our ability, and establish a quality service in the best fashion available, even though it was challenging and hard to achieve in a short period of time. The timeline of events, I'll retract that a little bit. It's more like the beginning of the June notification of previous contractor not returning. We started discussions with the school district between Fry and ABC. We worked with negotiations on a contract up through August 2nd, and the school board approved both contractors at that time, giving us time to get started for the school year. And I'll say it from the standpoint, normally we have 6 months to prepare for a transportation contract. This one we had maybe 2 months. The 25 days is really from the board approval where we knew we were officially in. We had multiple tasks to be completed in that time. Both Fry and our company had to hire people, which does not happen immediately. School bus drivers are like school employees. They have to go through the vetting process, the clearances. We have drug testing that we have to do. We have to onboard everyone. We have to train them. So there was a lot of things to happen in a very short period of time for the people to come into the district and make sure that that was the case. The availability of the Central Valley drivers, we anticipated based on last year's counts. There were some people that did not choose to return. So that kind of reduced what our anticipation was for big bus drivers in the district. We also had to do a lot of work with equipment. The things that you see there, purchasing the vehicles necessary for their operation. Most of it was used equipment, and we will have a very aggressive replacement system in the next 2 years to get newer vehicles on the road. But at this point in time, we did not have the opportunity to, or the availability for that. But title work for each, registration, licensing, insurance, et cetera, getting things prepared that it has 8-way systems on them for school bus inspection. And that was a challenging and my least favorite thing of all. I do a lot of it, decaling the vehicles with the name and the numbers. There were a lot of weekends spent at our lot in Ambridge with the spotted lantern flies that seem to be completely infestation at that location. And cameras and radios. We want to make sure every vehicle has good communication, and I know we work diligently on that, as well as DJ with his company. The locations, DJ secured a location in Monaca for us to park at. We have other locations as well. We run some runs out of our economy lot. We have a new inspection station because we needed one in this area, new fuel system, phone lines, internet, and all the communication necessary and utilities. So a lot of moving pieces and parts to this to get ready for the first day of school. And all that is preceded by this. We want safety to be number one. We provide a quality, safe, and reliable service to you. We want to implement our driver training programs over what was here before. And our preventive maintenance program is completely different than I think what was here in the past. And I'm speaking only for my company. I know Deep emulates our preventive maintenance program for his fleet. Video in all vehicles, we're going to continue to upgrade that as we can. Our optimal situation on every school bus is to have 4 cameras in that bus, one out the front window, one shooting back, one shooting from the back, and one shooting on the driver compartment and the service door. That's our objective for every vehicle. The time frame and ordering everything that we needed to get it installed before the first day of school, that did not happen, but every vehicle has video on it at the current time, even if it's just one camera up front. But we're going to be working quickly to get those upgrades. We were able to get active GPS in all of our vehicles. We'll be providing that to the school district, and that will be, as we've talked and DJ emulated, is that it will work together with the systems that we have in place. So your staff can look and find a vehicle instantaneously. I have had a blast with it, to be honest with you. I kind of forget sometimes that we have it, but I pull my phone out, I type in a bus number, and immediately it tells me where it is, where it's been on the route. I can see if they followed the route that they said they followed. There's a lot of information that we can draw from that in the routes that the drivers do every day.
Is that something that would ever be rolled out to the parents?
I think from a
That would be,
safety
Safety?
standpoint,
No.
I don't know that I don't want to speak for the bus companies, but I think from a safety standpoint, I'm not sure. You probably have an opinion on that. I'll defer to you guys.
our opinion is it's best kept with the district and the bus company. If you were going to do something like that, you would have to do a key tag system where the students would have to have a card and they would buzz in every time they got on the bus, so their parent only knows where their child is at. Right. And we already have a lot of that now with key tags and air, what do you call the air things there? Air tags. Thank you. So that's something that would be a decision of the district if that's something you would want to roll out. But for now, it would just be internal. But it is reduced the amount of time that we've had to communicate with the district or the drivers, to where the dispatch now can immediately tell the parent exactly where it is. The start to our school, and DJ, do you have any other comments on parents having any access for the GPS?
If you don't mind, if I can address those at the end.
Yeah, that's fine.
Absolutely. To start our year, we, new relationship with the district. Fry and ABC completed the summer routes from the 1st of July. So we can make sure all the summer school programs ran. We were learning the schools, the staff, and the individual systems. And as I mentioned earlier, our partnership with Fry has assisted with a number of in-district bus routes to start the school year. They helped us out, and that assistance is continuing. Prior to this meeting, we were actually talking about some of their assistance on Friday, just as an example. In return, we leased Fry Transportation 19 vehicles so they would be able to get the school year started, because obtaining 10-passenger vans is almost impossible without, how many months is it now, DJ?
11 months out.
11 months out when you have to get a van and they're just not available. So We were able to do that, and they were able to start their school year smoothly with the special needs and the private runs. And Fry also did the routing for all of the school districts. So it was, again, a lot of things looked at in consolidation efforts and a lot of new things for us to learn. So we started the school year, ABC did 8 big bus drivers short. We had great assistance from Susan Cole, who I think I don't know how many times a day our staff talks with Susan and Sam. They've done a yeoman's effort in getting us where we are today and working with us. But we've covered everything except for one day where 2 routes were not covered in the AM only. So as I mentioned, not really traditional type of coverage in some cases, but we are getting students to and from school.
Can I interject real quick?
Absolutely.
And Sue works for, everybody. Sue works for the partnership. But Sue has certainly had a relationship here with Central Valley School District. We look at her as one of our own. I can't speak publicly enough for the amount of time that Sue Cole puts in working with all of you folks. I know you're all putting time in, but Sue works she's there at 5 o'clock in the morning trying to figure out what issues we're going to have that day. And, we're talking at 7:30 at night, her, Sam and I, like it never ends for them. And I can't thank you enough for the time and effort that you put in on a daily basis, working with all of you folks. And I know you're all involved doing the same thing at 5 o'clock in the morning till 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. Those are long days and it's
30.
it's grueling. And I don't want that to go unrecognized. While we're not in a perfect place yet, the amount of time and effort that those folks are putting in, and we'll speak about other folks later on, but I really want to publicly thank both of you. And I know I'm a pain. I'm calling you every morning, every night. We okay. So I appreciate it very much. As I know the rest of the district, the administration, everybody else does as well. So I want to thank all of you.
I was convinced the other day that there's more than one Susan.
Yeah, it might be.
Because every time I turned around at they were getting ready to pull out, I saw her scurrying to her car and I'd pass the other school and there she is getting out of her vehicle. And I'm like, she has a twin. But yes, thank you very much. But both of them have been great to work with. So there's 25 big bus routes in Central Valley. We currently have 17 drivers to make up that differential. We have Fry Transportation assisting. We have some of our ABC Transit drivers from other school districts coming in to pick up portions of routes as they're able. And we have the routes listed above there that are being doubled up between the schools. We're growing and improving, and we're going to continue to do that. This is going to be a nonstop process that we're going to put foot to the floor and go as fast as we can to bring people into this district. We're continuously recruiting. Some of the things you see up there, the Indeed, the Facebook campaign targeted at this community, the mailer that was sent out earlier this year. And again, sometimes those mailers don't automatically work, but sometimes people like myself throw the junk mail somewhere and you start to sort junk mail a month later and you see that flyer and you're like, you know what? I hear they're having some issues. Maybe I could help. And that's positive for us. We've had banner buses. We've been at as many Beaver County community events as possible. The district has been gracious to help us with social media and pushing our message. We put over 40 yard signs throughout the district. We're just waiting for more, and we're going to try to put them on every corner that we can. I spent a Sunday putting all of them up, and we were looking for more and more places. And now that I've driven more of the district, I know more places we can put them. And we doubled our bonus offer for CDL drivers walking through the door that are ready to go with the CDL school bus and passenger endorsement. So our successes, the communication has definitely improved with the schools, and I hope that the parents see that as well. We're trying, whether we are able to achieve things on a daily basis, if there is an adjustment necessary, we try to make sure that's communicated to the district so they have time to communicate that as well. I'm not going to lie to you. We try our best to exhaust all options. And sometimes that pushes us a little later into the day. As Kristen mentioned, 11:30, there was a Sunday night that Susan was here, Kristen was here, and some of our staff working on routes for the next day. And that was Labor Day weekend, was it not?
It was the day before school started.
Oh, that was the day before school started. Yes. So the time and effort is there, but again, without the drivers, we are still going to have to go through that. But I think we've calmed things down. We just need to bring more people in. The problem solving and the troubleshooting is occurring daily. I think that is an improvement over what has been given in the past. Routes continue to be addressed daily so we can provide even more improved service. And the positive thing is we have new applicants coming in every day, and we're continuously training new applicants to add more drivers.
Can I interject again? And I apologize for interrupting you, but you know, one of the things that folks need to understand is while we have the 17 drivers, we're 8 short. We have a solution for that right now by doubling up some buses, so on and so forth. When you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and bus 3 called off and they're not here, now we have nobody for bus 3. So now you got to start figuring out what are we doing with bus 3 kids? You know, and the last thing we want to do is say we're not sending anybody to pick up your kids. And that's where these folks are up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So, you know, Sue and these guys are all they're saying they're all trying to figure out what we're gonna do with these kids, how are we gonna get them here. So, you know, it complicates the matter, you know, tremendously. And when you think you got it settled today and then in the afternoon, somebody calls off or something happened, you know, then we're right back in the swing of, okay, now we're going to make these changes. We're going to somehow communicate this to the parents. It's certainly not ideal. And our folks can't keep up this pace, you know, so we got to get drivers here because it's just too much for those folks.
We totally agree with you.
And you, it's
Up this pace either. One of the positives, and it's not in the presentation, that I will say that both companies do, and this was DJ's mastermind here in Beaver County first, is we have a safety and attendance bonus. And it's a fairly lucrative safety and attendance bonus that really encourages people to come to work. You can get so much per day in 1 month, and if you get perfect attendance, it goes up by $1 in the following month and continues to climb. And I believe if I figured it out right, it's about $1,900 that someone can make additional if they achieve the perfect attendance and the safety bonus in the year. That's significantly more than we have ever offered because our highest offering has been $600. So I think it's an incentive to hopefully stay away from what Dr. Perry is saying that we have in a lot of our locations and bus drivers in general is the call offs. And we want to get to a little more comfortable level. So if we do have those call offs, we have staff on standby at the garage can step in and do that run. Right now, we're a little thin on that. But again, that's why we're partnering with Fry, because we can make a phone call to Fry and say, can you help us out here today and fix a problem? Sorry, almost missed this page. Dr. Perry stole my thunder, and that's okay. But we've had tremendous support from the administration and all the staff. Susan and Sam have been phenomenal in the time they've put in, and we appreciate it. Dr. Perry's been very supportive. Constant communication with them has been great. We're reviewing every day our performance, and we want to continuously improve it. And we're constantly training our staff. We have a lot of new staff that were former staff members that serviced your district. We're trying to improve that level of service significantly so we can improve the service here and have what you would expect, which is excellence. And van drivers are in the pipeline. We have 4 in our CDL class right now. So that's a positive. Hopefully everybody continues through that. And we have a great trainer that is working with them that's our sole purpose right now is to get those people through. And so we can have more people in the district. We just need some time to fully implement. DJ, you had a few words you want to share?
Yeah, right now, you want me to come up?
Well, it's up to you.
Good evening. For those who may not know me, my name is DJ Fry. I'm the owner of Fry Transportation, but more importantly, I'm a proud warrior. So it has been a pleasure the first 3 weeks of school to be able to represent the Central Valley School District. Even if it's only half the side of the contract, as Todd indicated, we're always there to answer the call. I have encouraged my staff to step up when in need, myself included. I probably haven't driven a school bus in a few years for my company, but I've driven probably 5 or 6 days already here. But it's all hands on deck, as Todd indicated. But more importantly, I think the goal here is to try to get the transportation to be half as good as the leadership with our administration and how good the community is here. I think this is a prized district that only deserves nothing but the best. As Mr. Zielinski asked earlier this evening, we talked about the GPS. We look forward to implementing that software here at Central Valley to help utilize and drive up subsidy return, but more importantly, to be more creative with routing. Mr. Moed, you talked about possibly sending out a link to the parents. That is an implementation that we can look into as well, that down the pipeline, I think that we can offer. However, it would have to pass through the board here, and there's a couple things we need to
I
work.
can just see parents like wanting to know where their children are. I mean, with technology being what it is.
And if I could take the time also just to add to what Dr. Perry said, we would not be here today if it wasn't for the efforts of Mr. Sam here, Sir Cone, and certainly Ms. Sue Cole. In addition to both of them, the efforts that we have received, both on the out-of-district side and the in-district side, have been outstanding when it comes to the building leadership and all the secretaries. So the communication within this community is phenomenal, next to none. And we look forward to a bright future and brighter days coming to where we can match this standard of excellence here at the Central Valley School District.
And I want to echo what you just said, because I was going to get to it, but you know, the building administration, they are tremendous. They are dedicated to the kids of Central Valley. They will not leave these buildings until those students are out. They got other things. Some of them have other responsibilities they need to be doing. They'll go down to the building. My special ed director goes down to the buildings. Mr. Chacon goes down to the buildings. At times when I get down to the buildings for dismissal. They all help out. They all stick around. They do whatever they need to do. There are secretaries that answer phone calls all day long. You know, our central registration secretary answering calls, our special ed secretary answering call. They're all answering calls, dealing with transportation, doing the best we can. And I want to thank our teachers association. You know, some of the buses, when they're coming late, some of those teachers are sticking around, making sure that the kids get on the bus. You know, it's beyond their contract today. And they understand that we're in a situation here and they're working with us to do whatever we can to make sure that our students are safe. We get them on buses. So, you know, I can't thank all of those people enough, and we're not where we need to be yet. And finally, I want to thank the school community for your patience, you know, flexibility and understanding that we're trying to get through this together. So I want to make sure that I'm sure I missed somebody to recognize. But I think all those folks have been vital in this. And, you know, I think that if we can get to a situation where we're rightly staffed, I think that we're going to be very happy with, you know, what goes on here in the district with regards to transportation. So I'll shut up now.
And our goal is to make sure that Dr. Perry doesn't have to talk about transportation. You don't have to hear about transportation unless there's a time where the contract needs to be discussed. Building principals don't really need to deal with it unless it's a disciplinary issue with the student on the bus. And I did emulated Sam's job at Freeport, where I was the transportation director and the athletic director. I sure did not want to deal with transportation during my day, as I'm sure Sam does not want to either. It was part of our job. So we're looking to reduce the discussion of transportation. So it's part of the system, not the discussion about the system. And if we can do that together as companies, that we can make it a positive experience, you know, we can hopefully report back next year at this time that we're running smooth. And as DJ mentioned, brighter days are ahead. We feel that.
Do you have the buses? When you get the drivers, you have the buses?
Yeah, we have the equipment, yes. Yes, we will be doing a fairly aggressive replacement program to start to replace the vehicles that are currently in use. One of the things that will increase your reimbursement, but more importantly, it's going to be a more dependable unit. We just didn't have the time to get the newer vehicles in, but we have a number on stock right now that we want to start getting in. As soon as we have the vehicles, that's not the issue for us. I wish we had the drivers to fill, because we could, you know, do a much better job at that. But at this point, yes, we have that.
Anybody have any questions from the board? I appreciate your time tonight.
I have one more question. AJ, how are you sitting on drivers?
So currently we service 7 local school districts. Besides Central Valley, with Central Valley being one of them, we're fully staffed at all 7.
Do you have backups in place, or are they?
We have 12 floaters. 6 of them are being utilized right now to just polish some of the new hires that we have, learning routes, kind of figuring out if we have the right pieces in the places. And we anticipate here with the next class that we just passed, we had 4 in our current class and we had 3 just graduated a previous class. So out of these 7, we're hoping to get those 6 floaters plus another floater back. And that's basically how we've been able to help out ABC in the mornings and things like that. And I think due to, again, to Sue and Sam, they've been very creative on how we can send other units from other school districts over here in the morning. That makes sense. without driving up costs for anybody, but trying to utilize the availability here in Beaver County to work more together. And really, that's how we've offered 5 drivers in the morning up to this point.
I have a question for both you guys. Just curious, you had mentioned maintenance at one point. Do you have your own maintenance people, your mechanics, or do you sub them up?
So, Mr. Ross, I don't want to speak for ABC, but I know what their answer is. So I think both companies are extremely proud of both maintenance programs that we both have and have long-term success. So 39 years, I think that we like to say that we're very proud of having some of the best mechanics overlooking our equipment.
And I would concur with that. Yes, we have all our own staff, our own equipment. Our objective is to not farm anything out if we can do it ourselves.
You're not short there at all.
No.
I really appreciate everyone coming out tonight to update not only the board, but the community at large as to where we are. I can assure the school community as your superintendent, I will continue to put pressure on our contractors to provide the best service possible. So I will continue to stay on this until everybody feels we're at a point where, we're running as we should be. So I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for the opportunity tonight. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much for coming.
Okay, minutes.
Okay, back to the agenda. We'll be looking to, under minutes, we'll be looking to approve the minutes, August 2nd, 2023 special voting session. And number 2, to approve the minutes from the August 17th, 2023 voting session. Moving on to Treasury Report, Mr. King's not here. So the following bills and reports are submitted for approval. A, to pay the bills, confirm the August 2023 general fund payments in the amount of $1,212,856.61. Number 2, to confirm the August 2023 cafeteria fund payments in the amount of $8,441.64. And number 3, to confirm the August 2023 construction fund payments in the amount of $579,266.13. And B, to approve the August 2023 Burkheimer report. Under agenda items, board policy items, looking to address be it resolved that the Board of School Directors of the Central Valley School District hereby approves and adopts a settlement agreement for student number 1002162. Anything else, Dr. Perry, on that?
Nope.
The negotiation items, Mr. O'Neill.
We have nothing going at this time.
Thank you. Education items, Mr. Ross.
Number 1, to approve, confirm the release time, staff development requests. The conference and location is listed on the left-hand side. The individuals attending those conferences is in the middle, and the dates that they will attend are on the right. 2, to approve the 2023-2024 supplemental positions. That's it. Any other thing to add to that, Dr. Perry?
That's fair.
Thank you, Mr. Ross. On technology, Mr. Moad.
Nothing at this time. Thank you.
You. Athletics, Mr. King's not here. Looking to approve the following fall conditioning programs for 60 hours at a rate of $10 an hour. Brandon Ambrose for boys basketball, Chris Rasso for girls basketball, and Kevin Morose for wrestling. Extracurricular activities, Ms. Belcastro.
It's just an FYI, if you stay at the hill trips, you have your destination, in the middle, your group, and on the right hand, the dates they will be attending.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Zaritsky, Building and Grounds.
Well, before we get to that, I think Dr. Perry is going to give us an update on construction. Mr. Ross is absent tonight.
Yeah, Mr. Ross could not be here tonight, so I'm going to give his report. This is related to the primary school. We're talking punch list items. For those who don't know what that is, it's things that still need to kind of be done, but it's not holding up us running the school. So we'll continue to work on punch list items until everything is done. Current punch list items, there's caulking around the outside faucets and speaker boxes of the school. I believe they were on site today working on that. finalize and coordinate the order and installation of the wall murals. There's going to be some 5 to 7 week lead time on that. And the wall murals are the design that's in the new section of the building. Each of our sections has a theme. Kindergarten has a theme, first grade has a theme, second grade has a theme. The new part of the building does not have the wall murals that match the theme of each of the wings at this point in time, but that will be done once we get those the materials. Patio ceilings were involved on the 11th. Cameras and lights still need to be installed in that area of work. That was on the 11th. I'm sorry, the 12th. Outside flashing was completed around the storm shelter windows. Those will be getting caulked as wall. I believe that was to take place today. Casework final detail to be completed this week. The HVAC balancing and operational training are going to be happening soon. The playground install, I know everybody wants the playground up. It will be installed the start of the second week of October. The general contractors do not build playground equipment, so they had to find a company that would come and take the equipment and rebuild it, put it back in. So that's going to happen in October, which I know is not ideal, but we went an entire year last year without the playground, but the kids are still getting out for recess. They still have an area they can play. But we want to get up as quickly as we can. We have some interior and exterior door modifications that need to still happen. They've been working on that issue. The chain link fence that and the gates that go around the retention pond behind the school was to be completed today. I'm not positive where they were today, but that was to be completed. I know they were working on it today. They said that September 22nd at the latest. There's some paint that needs to be done to the blue wall in the first grade corridor. I believe it might have been completed yesterday. There was also some touch-up painting in the kindergarten doors. I believe that might have been done yesterday. And then they need to camera the sewer line as part of a final inspection and complete a small asphalt patch on School Road. That's to be completed on the 15th of September. So that's where we are with regards to the building project.
Right. Moving on with that, number one, obviously with school starting and everything, there is a bunch of building usage requests, as you could see on the chart listed there. And that's it.
Okay. Thank you. Personnel, we'll be looking to approve the additions to the 2023-2024 substitute list pending receipt, review, and acceptance of all clearances. Number two, approve additions to the 2023-2024 ABC Fry Transportation Bus Driver Aid List pending receipt, review, and acceptance of all clearances. Number three, to approve an FMLA request for an elementary teacher from October 2nd, 2023 to March 1st, 2024. Number four, to approve the resignation of Barb Perlek, custodian, effective August 18th, 2023. Number five, to approve the following building mentors for the 2023-2024 school year with a stipend of $300. The mentors' names is in the left column. The mentees' names are in the right column. Number six, to approve Kim Costiel as a paraprofessional at a rate of $13.50 an hour in accordance with the CVSD agreement, pending receipt, review, and acceptance of all clearances, effective August 22nd, 2023. Number seven, to approve Chanel Carl as a paraprofessional at a rate of $13.50 an hour in accordance with the CVSD agreement, pending receipt, review, and acceptance of all clearances, effective August 23rd, 2023. Number eight, to approve Brittany Costanza as a paraprofessional at a rate of $13.50 an hour in accordance with the CVSD agreement, pending receipt, review, and acceptance of all clearances, effective August 22nd, 2023. Number nine, to approve Carly Barato as a paraprofessional at a rate of $13.50 an hour in accordance with the CVSD agreement, pending receipt, review, and acceptance of all clearances, effective August 25th, 2023. Number 10, to approve Angela Heitman as a cafeteria general worker, 2 3/4 hours at a rate of $12.50 in accordance with the CVSD agreement, pending receipt, review and acceptance of all clearances effective August 23rd, 2023. Anything else, Dr. Perry?
No, sir.
Okay. Finance items, Mrs. DeCenzo.
There's nothing to report this time.
Okay. Public comment, anything from the public?
Public comment.
Okay. Dennis comments.
You want to start maybe as far as they can give their
Sure.
reports?
Sure, we can do that. High school, Mr. Vakovican.
Good evening. Just a few notes up here in the high school. The end of August, we had our opening in service week with the staff, which we found very productive. Also featured here in the high school, the active shooter training that Mr. Dolph did with all local law enforcement. The Wednesday prior to school, we had freshman orientation, which was very well attended. Probably 300 to 400 students and parents attended that event in the evening in the high school auditorium. The first couple of weeks at school have been very smooth, thanks in large part to our guidance office, who did a tremendous job with scheduling before the students came in to start the year. And I also, since we've been talking a lot about busing, want to compliment, I could test from at least the high school perspective, the communication and the reliability. What we've seen so far in the school years surpassed what we even had last year. So I thank you guys again, as Dr. Perry mentioned as well. Lastly, upcoming October 4th, we have open house in the high school, and October 12th and 13th, we have our homecoming coronation and game down at the football field. Any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vakovican. Middle school, Mr. Dolph.
Good evening, everyone. Deco, Mr. Vukovic, we had a great opening weekend service with our staff. Allowed them to prepare the rooms, prepare their curriculum, get everything ready for day one. You know, we're midway point through week 3 of the school year. Couldn't ask for it to go any smoother. Besides 1 or 2 days with the bus hiccups, it's gotten better every day. You know, going around from cafeteria table to table, checking on the kids. Everyone's enjoying it, having a great time. Love teachers, loving their classes, understanding their way around the building, the expectations. Ms. Hicks did a phenomenal job putting on our brave Schwibus kickoff assembly 2 Fridays ago. That went very well. We had the experts from the state come in and participate and be a part of that. We have our open house coming up next Wednesday, the 20th. Similar to Mr. Vukovican's new student orientation, we had a great turnout with our 6th grade parents and students. They did a nice scavenger hunt and tour of the building that evening. So 3 weeks in, all was going well to middle school.
One thing, Brian,
Yes, sir.
how's your new schedule working out?
It's going very well. A couple little hiccups with students understanding the band course alternating days, but overall consensus from the teachers, they like it a lot better. The one activity period is working very well. As far as the new rooms and the spaces, it's been great. We've been able to keep the 8th grade class pretty much secluded to one half of the building, where they're not coming across the 6th graders as much and so forth. So overall, you know, the hallway traffic's better, the classroom layouts and things are going really well. And we'll iron out the little confusion. It's mostly with the 6th grade kids, just understanding on certain days they're doing bands, certain days. But it's going pretty well.
Good, thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Dolph. Ms. Farragotti, Todd Lane.
Kind of echoes some of the things that Mr. Dolph said and Mr. Vakovican. We started off our first week of in-service with the teachers. They're very happy to be back. That first week, we had open visitation for our parents, and our 3rd grade orientation was attended pretty well. The first week of school, we covered our school-wide expectations, and we had our kickoff. The kids were excited because I threw a back handspring for them. And so next week, I'm gonna be starting our MAPS test. So the school year's going pretty well so far.
Thank you.
There's no workers' comp if you miss that landing.
After she just come off an injury.
Yeah,
Senator Grange.
miss that landing.
We've had a great kickoff as well. We did start the year off with our professional development with the teachers. A lot of new things happening because of the new building opening. We had a kindergarten orientation and a kindergarten bash in the front of the school with some face painting and fire trucks and Brewster's ice cream, and the kids had a great time. We did have also open visitation one evening for the kids to come and see where their new classrooms would be and their parents to tour the new building as well. And everyone was very pleased with the new building. We also, since we've been in school, the new building schedule is running smoothly with the new full day kindergarten. The kindergarten kids are getting used to going all day and being in the lunchroom for the first time, which is very challenging for those of us who are in the lunchroom. We did also have our SWIBIS kickoff and teaching of our rotations and expectations for all of the areas around the school. We had picture day, and we're starting to plan ahead for our regular events like our book fairs and Halloween parties and programs. And we're planning for our open house on October the 12th. So lots happening.
Thank you, Mrs. Kazanovich. Mrs. Park.
Good evening. I'm going to echo a lot of the same things that the other administrators echoed. We're off to a great start. I want to thank our special education staff who have really come together in each building. They're working hard and being creative with time and sharing resources while we've been working on some staffing issues. See, we have a lot of paraprofessionals that we've added. I hope to be adding a few more. If you don't want to be recruited, don't end up in a room with me because I'm working really hard at trying to get anybody who's willing to work to come here and be part of our team. Our gifted teachers met at the IU with the other gifted teachers in neighboring communities, and they're putting together the gifted activities for the year. So things are really off to a great start. And I'd like to also thank that our transportation companies, as much as we're still dealing with transportation things this year, I've had a lot less of transportation headaches and a lot less of things happening with our students with special needs. So thank you to you guys for making sure they're getting to and from school safely.
Thank you. Mr. Chacon.
I would also like to echo the transportation piece of the of the school. Thank both companies. I also want to thank Dr. Perry for being a big time supporter and he's been great, always checking on us, making sure we're getting things what the communication needs to be. I'd like to commend both companies for getting that communication out. We are very transparent with our families, as you guys can tell. As soon as we get it, we want to get it out to our folks and our staff. So thank you. Continue doing the good work here. It's gotten better each and every week, each and every day. And of course, I can't go without saying thank you to Ms. Cole. She has been the crutch of being there late nights, getting the information to me. We've had a lot of discussions. I talked to her more than I talked to my wife in the last 3 weeks, but we're getting it done. And as they mentioned, number one priority is safety, and we want to get the kids to and from school. On the athletic side, as most of you are aware, our football game this week at West Allegheny High School, we will be playing Chartiers Valley. Chartiers Valley is still under construction with their field. Therefore, they moved it to West Allegheny High School. There'll be literature on the website. I will also send an email out to the Board of Education with all of the things. There are no pre-sale tickets for Friday. Purchase them at the gate. Adults are $6, students are $3. There is no live stream. And West Allegheny is also under renovations, so parking is going to be very limited. And but they do have shuttle at a parking lot near the school. So get that information out to all of you. As far as the rest of the sports, they're all underway. We're almost a third or quarter of the way through the season, believe it or not, with fall sports. All teams are doing pretty fine. So continue to success for our coaches and our players. Any questions?
Real quick, going back to transportation one more time, sorry, but do we have any idea how many more people are driving their kids to school and picking them up as compared to other years? like how much has been alleviated? Because we say, I know that can skew, the number of students on buses that people are saying, I don't want to deal with this at all. I'm just going to take my kid to school every day or pick them up.
What do you-
Idea?
I guess maybe I would start with the principals. What do you see?
I've been outside drop off each morning, the last couple of years, but for the first 10 weeks of school. I'd say it's same as the past couple of years. I don't think it's increased at all. I don't think it's decreased. If anything, it may have decreased just a little bit. I say it's steady for the last couple of years.
Okay.
Carla, I say the same thing. And in addition to that, what I see is they're heeding our words and they're getting here earlier. So we haven't had a log jam at like 7:25, 7:30 like we had in the past. They're getting here at like 7 o'clock, 7:10, 7:15, which has been really nice as far as the traffic.
I would say the same.
I'd say my parent pickup and drop offs has been about the same.
That's the
So it's about the same.
Mine is strong. Hasn't really changed.
Thank you.
I think that even with the communication, they may have seen a day or two heavy because we got that communication out early enough.
So you had,
Instead of them waiting for their bus,
they brought,
get them, but that's only been a couple of days, I would think. And then certain days like Fridays, you have your typical.
Yeah.
Coming to get after school because of the.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same.
thank you.
Mr. Miller.
First, I want to apologize for my attire. I recently moved, and when I went up something out of the garage, it resulted in me tipping over a shelf and becoming filthy. So I had to change before I came here. So I wasn't at the last meeting, so I just want to say new teacher orientation went very well at the end of August. A lot of compliments from all of our new staff. Of course, their favorite part of the 3-day event was Dr. Perry's district tour, as usual. We made some changes to it this year based on feedback from previous years where I increased time with HR to do all their payroll paperwork and answer questions and things. And I think that all went very well. Same with the in-service week, just to reiterate what the principals have said. We did some curriculum work and some tech trainings during a curriculum week. And I think for the most part, everything went very well to start the year. iPad distribution to start the year again. Any new kids that register in the district, we usually have my team set those up ahead of time and they're waiting for them in their guidance office. So those were ready to go on day one. And kindergarten iPads actually is usually something we do the second week of school. However, due to some transportation hiccups, pulled my staff together and they managed to get 170 kindergarten iPads out in a day. So I really want to commend them for that. I don't know how they did that, but they did it. Just spent the first couple of weeks at Center Grange, working with Clint on punch list items. Most of the punch list items I think are on his list are actually tech related, which is just the nature of construction because tech is typically the last thing you get to do. Which are related to the paving system, the AV system, some door security stuff, and security cameras. So we're working through that. One of the things that has been a challenge since the pandemic has been supply chain. While supply chain may have rectified in some areas, one of the areas that has not changed is technology. I've been meeting with teachers, meeting with administration, things that I order late May, early June as part of the new budget. I'm still on back order for a lot of it. Nothing has been detrimental to the start of school. The staff has been very patient. The administration has been very patient. Unfortunately, it is what it is when it comes to what this current world is when it comes to placing orders. I don't know how much earlier I need to order things to get stuff in before school starts, but it's something that I'm going to have ongoing discussions with our vendors. And then the last thing I want to talk about is we made some curriculum changes at the high school this year. One of the changes we made has to do with how journalism operates. Work with Lindsay, work with the principals on creating some different expectations for journalism. One of the things in Mrs. McCracken's class that they're doing now is the students are going to be working the newsletter that Mr. Vakovkan started last year. In addition to that, the students are submitting articles to be published on our district website. I have a couple small articles on the high school website right now that are produced by the students. I've got another one that was sent to me yesterday. That'll be going up tomorrow. And hopefully, as the students progress through these classes, most of the write-ups and positive things you see on our website are actually student created. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Okay, Superintendent.
Back to me. I'll try to be brief. First of all, I'd like to welcome Joan Wayner to her first board meeting, our business manager. And I know that she's been here. She started on Monday and she's been working with John the last few days, and John will be here to help transition Joan into her new position. So welcome. We're excited to have you. I don't really share my personal stuff, but my mother-in-law passed away recently. This morning, we buried her last night at the funeral home. My wife wanted me to extend her overwhelming support from the Central Valley people. We went home last night. She's like, I can't believe all the Central Valley people that came. So on her behalf and her family's behalf, I want to thank all of you. So thank you. All I have.
Okay. Board member comments. Mr. Ross.
There was a lot of kudos going around tonight for this transportation. You guys obviously did a great job, getting this thing started. I know there's a lot of hiccups but again, I'd like to thank you guys for being new and putting in the time and effort and making this thing. But I'm not surprised what I'm hearing tonight from you guys and also anybody else saying what our administration and what Sue has done. That's been going on for years here, with Sam and Sue and with the direction, obviously, with Dr. Perry. I mean, they've been dealing with this for years and making it work very efficiently, no matter who we have as the busing. Okay. But it's really nice to hear that you guys are all working together and making this happen for our kids. And as somebody has said, that's what we're here for is our kids and making sure that everything is perfect for them and as safe as possible for them. And of course, the administration's always pitched in and helped at their individual schools to make it work. And Sue and Sam, for sure, that, every year they make this thing work. It's always like a hiccup no matter what, but this year is really great to hear how much effort was put into it and how smooth it runs. What you can make it, without drivers. So again, thank you, for the effort.
Bill Castro.
I was gonna say ditto. Don't just sit here and let them do it again.
Mr. Zaritsky.
Yeah, a couple of things. I mean, Sue, I'm going to single you out. Thank you. And everybody on that team. But also too, I don't have kids in every school, so don't get offended, Mr. Vakova can, they're not there yet. But Carla down there at the kindergarten orientation with what you had and the PTA was just amazing. The kids had an absolute blast. It was such a inspiration and where you saw that they couldn't wait to come to school. With your efforts and all the efforts of the PTA with the activities they had, the Brewsters, just absolutely fantastic. We were there for quite some time, enjoying the fire department and just all that coordination with everything was wonderful. And along with, seeing with some of the issues of transportation, but pulling in over there, I saw Dr. Perry. I saw DJ standing out there. I saw Carla's staff. It was all hands on deck. Everybody was there. Same thing in the middle school. You got the buses over there. You got the team that Casey's over there on one end of it, Mr. Dolph over on the other end of it, just handling it. It's just a lot of good things. I really, really do appreciate that. Being on this board, being a parent, being a part of this community. And lastly, Dr. Perry, Sam, I know Sean's not here and everything, but I'll speak for Mr. Dolph also too. Very proud that the Central Valley football team is participating in the honor games, honoring fallen heroes and instilling that their legacy will remain alive, giving up their name and having the Gold Star family members come and be recognized. That's very important. I know it's something that Brian and I have been part of for a very long time, and I'm very, very happy that the district is open and is welcoming to whatever it takes to ensure that, the patriotism is there, that these heroes are going to be recognized and that their family is given the support that they deserve. So I want to thank you guys for all that. I really, really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. That's all I have, Mr. Paul.
Thank you, Mr. Zaritsky. Marcia.
just echo congratulations on the opening of your school year. And Ms. Cole, I know you give 120%. I know you very well.
Mr. O'Neill.
Just once, I'd like to hear one administrator get up, say what really happened. You know, this year it stunk on ice opening day. Horrible, man. But fine, just live in your little world where everything's happy, sunshine, lollipops and rainbows every day. I appreciate your overcoming all your problems. And likewise with the transportation, every day in every way, we're getting a little bit better. Let's not get hung up on the negativity. Things will work out. Keep working at it. Thank you for your effort. Sue, you're the best.
Mr. Moed.
Just hearing and seeing everything that our administration, our principals and our staff do, support our students and our families in the community. Just really makes me proud to be part of this district because the students come first here. There's no question about it from every level of this organization. The students come first. It makes me very proud. And Ms. Cole, I am going to single you out also. You retired when my oldest son finished kindergarten, which I won't tell you how old he is now. But you have remained an integral part of this district for every minute since you've retired. So we really appreciate everything you do.
And I'd like to give special kudos to Sam and Susan for working out the bugs in putting in all those extra hours. It's really appreciated. Thank you. And also do a special thank you to Todd, Kristen, and DJ for coming here tonight, putting on your presentation, telling us how it is. And so the public can see also what we're going through and what you're going through as you solve our problems. Thank you very much. Okay. So we have a motion to adjourn. So moved. Moed, Mr. Zariski. All in favor, say aye.
All right.